to bring on our guest who's going to tell us how to do it better. Mark Stevens is the CEO of a company, it's MSCO.com, Mark Stevens Co., and he wrote some wonderful books all about sucking. So it is marketing. Your marketing sucks. Your management sucks. Your company sucks. He's going to tell us how to do it better. Mark, are you there?
I am here.
Welcome to the show, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mark.
It's my pleasure.
You caught our attention, Mark. You followed us on Twitter. That's how we found you. And, we clicked and we saw what you were all about, and we really liked it because in blogging and in life and in whatever line of work you're in, people need to realize that you're marketing 24/7, I guess. So the question then becomes, what are the mistakes that people are making out there when they're doing their marketing?
Well, there's a few. We can boil it down to a few. One is playing it safe. So let's say my book, for example, Your Marketing Sucks, which was a global bestseller. Let's say I called it Your Marketing Is Not Good. How many copies do you think I would have sold? Probably 5.
Yeah.
I mean, so in marketing, whether you're marketing yourself, your company, your product, whatever it is, you must get people's attention. You can't use it as a gimmick because you have to have something behind it to be able to support what you are. When you get someone's attention, you have to have the goods to be able to warrant getting their support. But people play it too safe. They want to say things that are politically correct or very sort of subtle. There's no room for subtleness. When I have people coming into my company who are marketing themselves and want a job, they all do the same thing. They sit down, they take out some stupid resume out of a briefcase, put it down, and smile at you. Like, what is that? How do you think you stand out in any way? I say take your resume. I tell them, put your resume away. I don't believe in resumes. What are resumes? Resumes are a bunch of lies or the best things any of you ever did. Tell me about yourself. And when I ask people to tell them about themselves, they're dumbfounded. They can't say anything. Blah, 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 blah. It's just like whether you have a small company, a mid-sized company, whatever it is, and we serve them all, whether it's you in your career, whether you're dating, whatever it is, you have to understand that you are marketing yourself, and people are attracted to people who come across in a bold, unforgettable way. Do you like mediocre, boring people? No. I can answer for you. No. People may say they do. I like a very sweet, quiet, boring, blah, blah. It's not true. They like somebody who stands out and makes a statement. So that's one of the key mistakes in marketing. The other one is in marketing a business, for example, people don't measure the return on investment. It's one of the key themes of my book and my company, is that you have to be able to measure in dollars the ROI, the return on investment on your marketing investments. They're not expenses. They should not be expenses. They should be investments. And each investment you make, you should look at the return on that to make sure that you are getting back more, hopefully much more than you invested. That's what marketing is. It's not about getting your name out there that doesn't have any way that you can monetize it. It has to be monetized. So those are the sort of the key. There's a million mistakes people can make in marketing, but I'll make it simple. Those are two big areas that we tackle at my company, and I tackled in Your Marketing Sucks, the book, and I think that's why the book has been, became a huge bestseller, and why my company's been successful.
Well, that's interesting. Bloggers are always talking about monetizing their blog, and it depends on your genre, I'm sure, and we know the economy is tough now. It's the worst that it's been that I can remember, really. I mean, right? We were talking about this earlier today. It's so horrible out there right now that I guess your key point there is then you really need to distinguish yourself in whatever your genre is.
Well, it's just like what Mark said before when he gets a prospective employee to come in for a job to hand in the same old frickin' resume and do the same thing again. With all this competition and everything out there, you want something that's going to show. You want that apple to shine out of that box.
Yeah,
it's.
I'm sorry. I have a question for Mark, though. What do you do when people say that's politically incorrect, Mark?
I stick my finger in their eye.
Oh, I love it.
That's the best answer ever.
I have two choices. I could either stick my finger in their eye and vomit. So I prefer to stick my finger in their eye.
I am so sick and tired of hearing that shit.
We talk about that all the time. Oh my gosh, I love that answer. So tell us about some of the other mistakes that people are making out there.
Well, in business, the biggest mistake people make is fear. They're afraid. Fear. I want to come back to the blog thing in a moment, but fear, and I write about this in my blog a lot. By the way, I write a very popular blog that is ranked very high among marketing blogs, but it has almost nothing to do with marketing. And I don't want to monetize it. I don't want to monetize it. And 99% of blogs that people write, 99.9999999% of blogs nobody reads except their couple of friends. So you got to find something that you want to write about, that you're passionate about, and forget about the monetizing it.
Exactly.
If you write about something great and it becomes a popular blog and people start reading it all over the place, like I just got a call from a prospective client on the way home tonight who told me, I'm so sorry to hear about your dog, and I had blogged about the death of my dog a few months ago. And he remembered it, and he said to me in the phone call when he's looking to hire my firm for something nothing to do with that. I mean, isn't that great? I mean, that's fantastic. Forget about the monetizing
cool. That's
in
cool.
the traditional way.
Yeah.
But fear is a killer. Fear is a killer. No one should be afraid of anything. Nothing. There's nothing to be afraid of. We all live, we all die. Abe Lincoln died, you're going to die. So what are you worried about? I mean, if people are afraid, they're afraid, well, in business, what if I do the wrong thing? What if I make a mistake? What if it doesn't work? What if people don't like me? What if I'm unpopular? What if it fails? What if I waste my money? Blah, 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 blah. 2.5 years ago, we never advertised. My company is 17 years old. We never advertised. I didn't think it was right. I sold myself into a corner on that. And then I was on TV, and I'm a Fox News contributor. I was talking about what companies should do in a recession, and I said, try something new. I like to walk the walk, so I came back to the office and said, why don't we try advertising? I never thought it was right for us, but I said if I suggested people try something new, we should try something new. So I spent $12,500 on a 2-week flight in the New York area where our company is based, although our clients are around the world, and I made $175,000 on a $12,000 investment. The short story is that this year, in 2012, we'll be spending close to $1 million in advertising.
Wow.
Because you get high ROI. But I didn't advertise. In part because I was afraid. What if it doesn't work? You can't be afraid of anything. Nothing. You look at your worst fear, and then you imagine if it happens to you. And then when you imagine it, if you look at it in the face, you'll realize it's not that bad, and you'll find a way back. The fear cripples and paralyzes people in business and in their social lives. And I don't believe there's a difference between business and social lives. I wrote a blog just a few weeks ago called "There is no such thing as business. It's only life." Life and business are not bifurcated. They're one and the same.
Yeah.
There's no difference. Life and business weave into one another. You don't get business life, social life. I can't stand when people tell me, I want to live a balanced life. What the hell does that mean? It means maybe one thing to you, one thing to me. Don't impose your balance on me, right? Yeah. If I want to work 23 hours a day, watch TV for 30 minutes and sleep for 30 minutes, that's my idea of balance. Bug out. Yeah. I don't know what balance means. I don't want to live a balanced life. I hate the idea of a balanced life. I hate the idea of mediocrity. I hate the idea of being in the middle. I hate the idea of being safe. Who would want that? Why do you want that? You have 100 years to live if you're lucky. That's the human lifespan. Milk it.
You're speaking our language.
You're talking to a fireman that worked 30 years in the field and 18 years on rescue, dangling off of things, who has no fear. So I wish you could see us in the office, Mark. We're doing thumbs up and cheering arms for you, because that's absolutely the way.
In all the years in the corporate world, making money for other people.
Yeah, that's true. But so now it's really giving people the tools. You need to give people the tools to do what they need to do and to get over the fear and really transform. And, part of the message that you're giving people is the transformational points that, have guided you And you put that information in your book, but tell us a little bit about that.
About what specifically?
The transformational points in your life that have guided your career and your journey of success.
Well, I was my dad died when I was 17. He left us $84. I never thought about money before in my life. My mother told me about her high school years, but she didn't tell me she never graduated until he was dead, so we had no high school diploma. She wasn't working. My sister was 2 years younger than me. She was 14 and a half. We had no money for the rent. We had no money for food. We had no relatives to go to. The car was taken away the next day. And my mother really didn't care that much that my dad was dead, so she was off dating. So I had to sort of figure out what the hell do you do? How do you pay the rent? How do you talk to the landlord? What do you do? How do you make money? I never thought about it before. I always had odd jobs at the school, but I never had to support a family. He died. He went to work and died in the car, and never saw him again. And so I had to figure things out, and as I did, it made me understand that you have to understand where you find direction in your life. You have to be able to go for it, because I had no choice. I couldn't take a course. I couldn't say, okay, my dad's dead, my mom's out dating, and 2 days later, we have no money, so I'll take a course on how to feed the family. I'm going to sign up at NYU now to figure this out. Life is the course. I don't even, so that was one transformational thing for me. Another transformational thing for me was having kids, because that made me just the most amazing thing in the world. And I realized I wanted to not perpetuate some of the wrong things that happened to me when I was growing up, but also bring forth some of the good things that I learned from my dad. And I love nothing more than having kids. It just was and is still today just an amazing thing to me, even though they're up and grown. Third is that I married an amazing woman who's I don't deserve. We've been married to for 35 years. It just is like unbelievable, and she taught me the real meaning of selfless, true friendship and love. True selfless friendship and love. And then every day is a transformation for me, because, and I don't mean that in a cliched, trite way. I learn things every day. I take time every day, at least an hour, to just sit by myself with a blank piece of paper. It used to be. Now it's a blank BlackBerry screen, and think of something I haven't thought about before. Every single day. What am I missing? What am I not thinking about in the company, our clients, my life, blah, blah. And I write it down and send a message to a client, to myself, to the person who runs my company, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a series of, stupid people live life. They're born, they walk in a straight line, and they die. Smart people walk, they say, hey, I should make a midlife correction, another correction, another correction, another correction, because I want to keep raising the bar on human achievement.